Hey guys, recently I took a class with Evan from Radio Made Easy in South Carolina, and I gotta say, one of the greatest 2 days classes that I've been to in several years. He really had a way of breaking down and helping you comprehend a lot of the fundamentals when it comes to starting out in ham radio. Now, I'm not a ham radio technician. I didn't go to the class to become a technician. I wanted to be informed because I had gone through Helene, and I live in the Asheville area, and much of my community was devastated. Thankfully, I had a small handheld Baofeng ham radio, and as soon as the cell signal went out, I remembered, hey, I've got that radio. I can plug it in and see if I can hear something. And just, I set the scanner and just started scanning because I didn't even have it programmed. I wasn't even sure how to program it at that point. So I just started scanning, looking for frequencies, and eventually I came across a frequency which happens to be called the Mount Mitchell. It's known as the Mount Mitchell repeater. And this is, Mount Mitchell is 6,000 elevation above sea level. So it reaches about 100 miles-ish, plus or minus, in around Western North Carolina. And already there were people in place giving out information, sharing what information that they had already into the storm as it was hitting. Pretty phenomenal. Pretty phenomenal. See, now I'm stuck. Is that word right? Phenomenal? It was really cool. Not cool what I was going through, me and the fam and everyone, but to be able to start hearing, what others were going through, the impact, because at this, as soon as the storm hit and everything went down, we had no way of knowing the amount of impact that the storm was having. We didn't understand. Where I live, my house wasn't impacted by the floodwaters as some of my neighbors were, and much of my community was, where my friends live. And there's no way of knowing. And immediately they had a system. They were in place. They knew people were contacting them. People that didn't know where their family was or couldn't reach their family. The net control, it's called net control, the person that is, kind of in charge of that section of the repeater for a little bit, they run a thing called they're the net controller. You learn that as you listen. They were, hey, anybody out in this area that can go let such and such know. And then if somebody had a radio in that area they could hear, they can go let that family know or that business know, or get feedback or intel of what's going on in that specific area. So because of this, it caused me to realize, man, I have got to get this figured out. And, I don't know how many storms we've had, but, now they're calling it the 500-year flood. Who knows? Could this happen again? Who knows? How could it happen? You never know, because there's so many people that didn't even have flood insurance because nobody thought something like this would happen in our area. So you never know where you live if something could happen in your area, and the ability to be helpless all of a sudden, that facing that reality in real time really kind of wakes you up to the value of being able to communicate. So anyways, I took Evan's course. Eventually I was like right around 15 days without power. Once we got power, I was able to find out if there was a course. Evan had a course, and again, you can find that at Radio Made Easy. This is not a sponsored promotion. It's just, I think he does an amazing job. In the class, you get a UV-5R plus. That's what this is. An antenna that he makes that's really easy to come on and off. And I'm going to take it off actually I'm just going to roll it because that'll make it easier to talk about. And you learn this. Oh, and he gives you this book. So you've got this manual, and look at this. I mean, he gives you just all the frequencies, and you learn. I mean, even he makes it real simple and stupid for you to understand. Stupid simple, I should say. He doesn't make it stupid. He makes it simple stupid. And you, at the end of the class, at the end of those 2 days, you understand how to use this radio. You don't have to be licensed, but you understand it. You know how to program it. You are not hesitant at all. You know exactly what its capabilities are. You actually, there was 18 in my class. We all did a simulation of, going out and procuring something from a store, doing a caravan, having a base, and everybody, security, everybody's got a job, there's different base stations, and communicating through that whole process. And there's, problems that arise, which you would have never encountered had you not gone through this simulated course. But he makes everything really simple. So hats off to Evan and Radio Made Easy. I highly recommend you check out that course. But I highly recommend you buy one of these radios, no matter where you live. One of the things that Evan said that I thought was such a great point is, why buy one of these radios when you can buy so many other radios? What he told me and us in the class is that this radio, the UV-5R, this is actually the UV-5R Plus, is probably the most popular radio sold in America or in the world. So imagine your battery dies or something happens, right? And you're in a real problematic situation in the world. You're probably going to encounter other UV-5Rs or other batteries that are found in other parts of the world or wherever you're journeying or scavenging and stuff. So knowing how to use this is pretty awesome. It's valuable. Having several of these so that you can communicate with your neighbors, your community, and your family is even more valuable, and having a good antenna. But once you have it programmed, you can search by frequency, you can search by channels, you can have pre-programmed channels. He shows you how to find the different repeaters or frequencies in your area and get them programmed into your phone very easily. And then you're set and you're ready to go. And you can come up with a communications plan with your family or your community. Having gone through what we went through with Helene and seeing the power and the value of it, I wonder what time it is. I'm gonna see if I can see if it comes on. See if you can hear it. They may not be broadcasting right at this second, but the Mount Mitchell repeater, currently they're doing briefings at 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. and 8 p.m. And we're not quite to 8 p.m. So, but yeah, so they're doing briefings with the people that are in command or in charge of the different distribution outlets throughout the counties, and needs are being supplied for, and people are lending a hand, and things are showing up. It's amazing to hear how that's happening. Now, what's interesting is I did hear this also because I had another radio with FM, like some of the local radio stations started doing this, but they started doing it later. And of course they're doing it from, their ability, because part of the issue with having the help and the support with FM during the crisis, especially for the people that are in the areas that are affected the most and have no reception with a cell phone, is they can't call the radio station to get in contact with them. The only people that could call and talk to the radio stations were those people that were in unaffected areas that had cell phones and reception and internet. So being able to communicate, and this is interesting, is if you're in an emergency and you're also in a life-threatening situation and you have no other means of communication, you don't need a license to call for help. Super important. There were a lot of people that were stuck in their houses as the floodwaters were rushing by, and they could have called for help if they had a ham radio. They could have told the radio station exactly where they're at. Rescue teams could have been sent out to find them. And I think everyone in America should have one. Not because you're a prepper or anything, just because it's a valuable tool that is still valuable to this day. And we can see now, I see now, how easy it is for the cell phone and internet to go down. Anyways, I think that's enough for this video. I wanted to share my story and how I came into appreciate the ham community, get involved with the UV-5R, start being informed, and I hope that helps you and helps others decide and think through how you are going to plan and secure your family and yourself in times of insecurity and trouble. All right, well, until next time.